Join me as we talk all things true crime.
Made contact and shattered.
The missing 4-year-old. The parents have called in and that the mother has went through a wall, came home, now they can't find her.
Chad, where are Lori's kids? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say?
4 were stabbed multiple times and were likely asleep during the attack. Some had defensive wounds.
Most of them had just like one that was the lethal stab wound.
Oh, what a tangled web we weave. Once I told a lie, and I told my family, I had to keep lying.
McSherman is a demon.
We haven't cleared anybody.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. This is another ATS News live stream. We are digging into Stephan Sterns' documents about the investigation and his arrest process. And we are here seeking justice and following the trail of justice for Madelinesoto. So first off, thank you, JJ, for becoming a member. And I love your little picture of Harley Quinn. And yeah, if you guys haven't hit the thumbs up button, please do so at this moment. This is part 4. So we've already gone through other parts of this discovery files and, well, these aren't the discovery files, but other parts of these documents. And hello, EE Caroline, Carol freaking Claus, Kim, good to see you. Sally, hi, everybody. Hey, Nell. Haven't heard anything new from him while he's been in jail, but we can look that up. Hey, Derek, good to see you. And Dustin, good to see everybody. Hazel Eyes. So we're going to get started. Let me share my screen and I will show you where we left off. And then I'm going to pull up the body cam footage of Jen Soto and Stephan Sterns while I'm reading. So I'll show you what page we're on. We left off here on page 94. Scrolling down until we get to the next report. Here's some witnesses listed. Okay, so let's continue here. So this is page 95. We have not read this. Some of these supplemental reports are some of the same information that other ones say. But they're kind of worded differently because they're written up from different agencies or different detectives. Hey, Debbie Fox, good to see you. Bella and Jordan. Tony's here. My other Tony friend is here. Yeah, he really is a POS. And that's the other thing is I don't know how much, there's almost 900 pages in these documents. I don't know how deep we will be digging because once they get into the graphic and just beyond disgusting stuff, like we've already read through stuff that was, kind of shook me. And, I want to follow this case, but some of these pages I think are better left not said out loud. I'm from Florida where this happened and it's really not talked about much. Really? And it's crazy too, because in the Facebook groups, this and I would say Sebastian Rogers and Karen Reed right now are the top cases that it seems people are following. And a lot of people are excited to see Stephan get sent away forever and possibly get the death penalty. So that's interesting. And on Court TV, their YouTube page, there's a segment that I want to share after we read through some of this stuff, just a part of it. And it had let me see the views. It came out 9 days ago and it has 167,000 views on it, which for Court TV sounds like, oh, that sounds normal. But when you look at the other videos surrounding this one, it's not nearly as high as that. So it's got a lot of interest, I guess, for people in the true crime world. Tony says, I see more U.S. cases than Canada cases here in Canada. I feel like that's how it is also in the UK. Yeah, he was arrested very quickly. All right, guys. Yeah, I want to watch Stephan's trial. I definitely think that it's, it'll be out there for us to see because it's Florida and it's not New York where there's no cameras, or California. All right, so this is where we left off, guys. I'll be reading this incident report. And let me just, again, I don't like to just leave the documents on the screen. I'm going to give us some visuals. So I'll mix it up a little bit. I'll read a little bit of this and then I'll mix it up, put on some slow motion body camera footage with Jen Soto and Stephan Sterns. While I read, Johnny is here serving tea for everybody. Thank you so much, Johnny. We appreciate you. And good. Thank you for letting me know my sound is good. Let's continue. February 28th, 2024, briefing. On February 28th, 2024, at 10 a.m., I was briefed regarding the missing person case of madelinesoto. Contact with Kissimmee Police Department. I was tasked with meeting with Kissimmee Police Department Detective Bill Ilgen. It was learned the vehicle of Stephan Sterns, a silver 2010 Lincoln MKZ, and then it gives his tag number, was observed traveling on Old Hickory Tree Road as it passed Hickory Tree Elementary School located at 2355 Old Hickory Tree Road, St. Cloud, Florida. I was informed the vehicle passed the school on Monday, February 26, 2024 at approximately 1:12 p.m. as it traveled south toward Nolt Road. On Monday, February 26, 2024 at approximately 2:17 p.m., the same vehicle passed the school traveling north towards Interstate I-92. I met with Detective Ilgen in the Kissimmee Police Department at the Hickory Tree Elementary School. I made contact with Patricia O'Neill and conducted a sworn audio recorded statement with her outlining the fact that she was the custodian of records for surveillance video at the school. Patricia O'Neill provided the surveillance video electronically. Canvas. Next, I conducted a canvas along Old Hickory Tree Road. I located a black car tire on the vacant field associated with the Cemex USA located at 2175 Old Hickory Tree Road, St. Cloud, Florida. I contacted Orange County Sheriff's Office Forensics and investigator C. Marcus responded and collected the tire. It was later learned this tire was irrelevant to the investigation. Because remember, we see they talked about, and I think last part that, and part 3 and 2 talk about how Stephan tossed a tire out and they were able to collect that tire. So this tire that was found, like they said, was irrelevant. Video surveillance collection, but that's good, obviously, that they're taking the steps to collect anything out of the norm in the area. I located potential business cameras to the north in the vacant lot where the tire was located. The cameras were affixed in the lockers located at 2131 Old Hickory Tree Road, St. Cloud, Florida. I made contact with business representative Brooklyn Deja. Brooklyn Deja was unable to download the video. Digital forensic investigator C. Chong responded and collected the DVR to extract the video. I further located cameras on the Osceola window and doors located at 2090 Old Hickory Tree Suite, 104 St. Cloud, Florida. I made contact with Autumn Bateman and conducted a sworn audio recorded statement with her detailing the video collection. Autumn Bateman was unable to extract the video, and investigator Chong responded and extracted the video. Towing a vehicle. At 8:30 p.m., I responded to the Town Place Suites at Flamingo Crossings located at, and then it gives the address, in referencing to towing a 2022 four-door sedan bearing Florida tag number, and then that's redacted. I located the vehicle in the parking lot and towed it to Orange County Sheriff's Office. I followed the vehicle as it was being towed and relinquished custody to Orange County Sheriff's Office forensic investigator L. Miller. Interview with Marley Alejandro. On February 29th, Marilee Alejandro called the Orange County Sheriff's Office and reported she possibly had information on the case. Kissimmee Police Department Detective C. Smallwood and I responded to her residence, then it gives her residence, and conducted an interview with Marilee Alejandro. The following is a general summary of her sworn audio recorded interview. Marilee Alejandro reported she came to know Stephan Sterns through working with him at Disney. She explained their relationship became intimate around December of 2022. Okay, so if he's been with Jen on and off for 7 years. Hey, Sherry and Delana, good to see you guys. Interesting that this woman who worked with him is speaking, in a sworn statement about being intimate with him. Okay, hold on. I think we got enough of the documents on the page. Let's switch up the visuals and let me say hello to Punksy and everyone else who is joining. Thanks everyone for being here. Hit that thumbs up, please, and thank you. So yeah, we're just reading through the documents. We're going to play this in slow motion. It's just to give us a visual besides the white documents on the screen. And then after we read through a little bit, we're going to reference a court TV segment on this case as well. Just a little bit of commentary. Well, dang, we're taking the kids to Disney tomorrow, not Orlando, but Anaheim. Super fun. Oh my gosh, I've been to both Disney World and Disneyland, Dustin. I hope you guys have a wonderful time, and I'm sure you will. Hey, Seth, good to see you. Appreciate you. All righty, let's carry on. Okay, so this Marilee Alejandro worked with Stephan in December 2022, and they were intimate around that time. It says, and ended in May of 2023. Wow. So she was pretty much sleeping with Stephan for a while. During this time, Marilee Alejandro said Stephan Sterns told her that he was separated from his girlfriend, Jennifer Soto. Marilee Alejandro stated Stephan Sterns told her, although he was separated from his girlfriend, he still slept at Jennifer's residence. What the heck? And why? See, this just also paints another visual and picture of how Jennifer Soto, I think we kind of determined at this point, insecure, weak a little bit. That's putting it nicely. I mean, if she's allowing this guy to stick around and allowing him to sleep in the same bed with her daughter just to have him around, like, that's pathetic. Specifically in the bed with, okay, so hold on. Told her, although he was separated from his girlfriend, he still slept at Jennifer's residence, and specifically in the bed with, and that name is redacted. So is it Madeline or is it Jennifer? Marilee Alejandro said Stephan Sterns justified, it must be Madeline. Stephan Sterns justified this behavior by saying he needed to cuddle with her so she could fall asleep. Marilee Alejandro further recalled a conversation she had with Stephan Sterns where he told her that he woke up in bed with Madeline. Okay, so this is the person who they referenced before. With an erection and had to turn around in the bed. Marilee Alejandro felt the comments Stephan Sterns made to her about sleeping with Madeline were inappropriate, and she stopped talking to him shortly after they were made. March 1st, 2024, interview with, and that person's name is redacted. Detective F. Ramirez and I were tasked with making contact with, redacted name, at a possible address of, and that's redacted as well. As I knocked on the door, I was greeted by, redacted name, wife, also redacted. They invited us into the home and agreed to speak to us. The name, which is redacted, described he was close friends with Stephan Sterns and his daughter was best friends with, and then that name is redacted. Redacted name said he and his family moved to Colorado, just flew back after learning Madeline was missing. Blank had no information on this case. The interview with blank was audio recorded. Scrolling through. Another supplemental report. See what you guys are saying. I also feel like if someone would have reported it, he would have been locked up so long ago. Right. All of a sudden, all his friends come out on Gray Hughes like, yeah, we found this file on his computer that had, that's material, CSAM. And yet they never reported him. They just had like a falling out and stuff. Like, that's just not excusable. Hey, Alan, good to see you. Karen, hello. It's just not excusable. And hello, Adrienne. I'm so glad you're here. AB's here. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. Okay. Another narrative incident report, Orange County Sheriff's Office. On February 28, 2024, I responded to, and all this is redacted, to supervise the execution of a search warrant. During the search of Orange County Forensics was present, photographed the residence, and collected numerous items of clothing and bedding, which were identified as being in contact with the victim during SA. Most of these items were collected from the downstairs bedroom and divided off sleeping area in the living room. Some additional items were collected from the upstairs bedroom, identified as number 4 on the door. After forensics collected these items, they left the residence. A roommate, named persons redacted, arrived and requested items from her bedroom. I escorted her while she collected clothing and toiletries from her room and left the residence. At approximately 1640 hours, I was notified by the Orange County Sheriff's Office Emergency Response Team members located a glove in the wooded area to the north of the apartment. Interesting. So last time in part 3, we heard that they found a gray tank top and a yellow ripped up shirt that were by a retention pond. We don't know if it's related or not, but I'm sure they're testing all that and everything that they need to do. Now we're hearing that they located a glove near the wooded area north of the apartment that they live in. I responded to collect the gloves. The gloves were located approximately 30 feet into the wood line on the ground. One glove was balled up inside of the other. I photographed the glove and the surrounding area before placing them into an evidence envelope and later turned them over to forensics. At approximately 1719 hours, forensics manager Vanessa Nylander called me and notified me that they located some of Madeline's belongings in the trash, including a single white Croc. CSI Janik recalled seeing Crocs in the downstairs bedroom. I re-entered the residence and looked in the downstairs bedroom for white Crocs. I located 3 white Croc shoes near the window, 1 pair of women's size 8, and a single left shoe size 5 to 7, which matched the right size 5 to 7 located in the trash. I took photographs of the shoes and packaged the shoe and later turned it over to forensics as well. I remained on scene until Kissimmee Police Department detectives arrived and took control of the scene. Okay, so let's break down this visual a little bit more. Hold on. So we know that one of the Crocs was found in the trash with her backpack and laptop. So this is stating downstairs bedroom, 3 white Crocs near the window, and a single left shoe, 5 to 7, which matched the one that was found in the trash. So I'm just trying to figure out why she was only wearing 1 shoe. And if this is the downstairs bedroom where the other one's located, it's not in bedroom 4, which is where they went to sleep in. So he threw one shoe away, but not the others, and Jen didn't notice. Right. This is just like not like you didn't notice, like, especially when they give the description when she's missing, like in this body cam footage that we're watching. They describe her as wearing white Crocs with socks. Okay, so did you not think that the other Croc, like what would have possessed them to throw out her one Croc and not worry about where the other one was? And them, I should say specifically, I guess, Stephan Stearns, since he did the dumping of items. Like when he's throwing out the backpack and the laptop, why is it not in his head like, oh crap, I got to get that other shoe? Why was she only wearing one shoe? If this took place in like a bedroom area, because I feel like that's what we've kind of all envisioned. But why would she have had one shoe on? Right. So if I was Jen, I'd be like, why did she leave one Croc? Right. Hey, Mac J, good to see you. Something's very strange. Stephan Stearns' trial, originally set for May 13th, has been pushed back to August 19th, 2024. Stearns has a pretrial court date set for July 10th, 2024, still on schedule. Thank you so much for this update. And possibly can change with DP on. So I'm expecting more delays personally, but we shall see. But yeah, this whole picture with the shoes is not making sense. You know, you cover your tracks and you throw things out and you hide on you know, put the seatbelt on her in the front seat, tell everybody that she was sleeping, and then move her to the trunk so that she's not seen in the car anymore. But you leave one of the Crocs at home. I'm guessing it fell off when he tried to transport her. Yeah, so but if that's the thing. So then she was up that morning putting on shoes and then something happened. And how is it that it gets in the downstairs bedroom? Yeah, it seems like it was in Jen's room. I remember he goes in Jen's room that morning to fetch the dog leash. And she got up to help him get the dog leash, even though the neighbors say that usually Jen only walks the dog. So I think this dog leash story is fake. So very interesting. I'm just trying to get like a visual of like how one shoe ends up in the trash and not the other one, etc. Why she even had shoes on to begin with. Because we've kind of theorized that this happened to her in the night. I'm just scrolling through some pages that aren't really relevant to what we're going to read. We kind of theorized that something either happened to her right after her party or early morning hours. But now that I just don't understand why there would have been a shoe thrown out and not the other one. But again, this kind of goes back to this whole theory that this wasn't really premeditated beyond maybe like a couple minutes to hide their tracks. Yeah, that's what I thought too. During the night is what I thought, but maybe not. Yeah, I'm getting all confused on like, so she had one shoe on? I hope someone will testify against Jen. Hopefully that will get the state to push charges on Jen. Hopefully someone, if they know, will testify. Very, very weird, this whole thing with the shoe. It fell off her foot when he was carrying her to the car in the middle of the night. And why was she in Jen's car, not MKZ? Or do I have that wrong? So what we read, I can't remember. I think it was in part 3. It said that the dog was more interested in her car than his. So when they sent the I don't know if it was I think it was a cadaver dog, but don't quote me. You'd have to go back to part 3 and see the page that we read that on. Yeah, I don't know. So maybe something did happen in the middle, or It's either in the middle of the night and she had shoes on, or something happened in the morning and she was getting ready for school and had her shoes on, and one gets left behind. I don't know. It's very weird. Yeah, maybe room 4 was a lie that she sent them up there. Maybe. The whole ordeal is strange. The shoe ordeal, yeah, is odd. Yeah, it is. And it's like little details like this for someone like me, I get hung up on. Wouldn't they have video of him moving her to his car? That's the thing that we've also been wondering is they have like video of him in and out of the gates. They have video of him at the trash. They got video of him driving by and stuff, but there has not been one video or any mention so far of them saying we can see him carrying a limp body out to the car, blah, blah, blah. Just that they see her limp in the car. Seriously, everybody we see in true crime cases always missing shoes or socks. I've often pondered this. Yeah, that's true. I know. I agree. Okay, continuing on. Page 104, another supplemental report. On February 28th, Detective Kyle Cole was tasked with collecting surveillance video regarding this investigation. I responded to 13651 South John Young Parkway, that's the vape shop in parentheses, and spoke with an employee who stated the owner, John Withrow, was at a different shop and had access to the video. I went to the other store location located at, then it gives the address, where I met John and provided him with an evidence submission link via Axon Capture. Using the link, John uploaded a video surveillance clip from the 13651 South John Young Parkway store depicting a white male wearing a blue shirt and black hat entering the store purchasing items, then leaving shortly after. John also emailed a screenshot of a list of transactions completed by the subject of the photo, Stephan Sterns. The screenshot was later uploaded to evidence.com by John via Axon Capture link. After collecting the surveillance video, I was tasked with responding to the Orange County Sheriff's Office Central Operations Building to review images located on Stephan's phone by the Orange County Sheriff's Office Digital Forensics Unit. Upon reviewing the contents of Stephan's pictures and videos, I observed several pictures depicting what appeared to be Madeline being... Okay, so this is a page that's got the graphic stuff that we've kind of already gone through or we know about. So I don't really see the point in me reading this out loud. I will highlight it so you can see it on the screen. There were pictures of Madeline both awake and asleep. So that part is relevant. You know, there were times that this stuff was going on for her, sadly, and she's passed out. Oh, thank you, Derek, for gifting 5 memberships, and welcome to the new members. Hi, Brady. Good to see you. Ugh. So yeah, this is just a page with nasty stuff. I'll highlight that part. Not going to read it. It should be noted the member observed had a distinct marking on it, which consisted of bright pinkish colored skin below the... Okay. It's describing what his... Because the description of what it looks like is going to come into, you know, their evidence and linking him to these pictures, obviously. Several other pictures capturing this distinct pattern were observed on the phone. Further, I was reviewing the pictures and videos. I observed several different pieces of clothing, including patterned underwear, shirts, blankets, and sheets. Simultaneously, detectives of the Orange County Sheriff's Office were executing a search warrant at Stephan's home address of, and that's redacted. This address is also where the victim and her mother live. The detectives searching the residence were contacted and confirmed they found the same distinct clothing worn by both Stephan and the victim in Stephan's room and the victim's room. I was later tasked with authoring an infotainment search warrant. Infotainment, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Infotainment search warrant for the vehicle being driven by Stephan's car, and then it gives the description. We've read it a million times with the license plate number, was already sealed and towed by members of the Orange County Sheriff's Office on February 28th. The search warrant was submitted via a secure electronic filing system on February 28th at approximately 20:51 hours. The search warrant was later signed by the Honorable Judge Whitehead. The search warrant was later executed by agents from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. At the time of this supplement, it is being authored and the results of the search warrant are still pending. I authored an infotainment search warrant for Jennifer's vehicle, a 2022 Nissan Sentra bearing a license plate, blah, blah, blah. The search warrant was submitted via a electronic filming system on February 29th at 11:48 hours. The search signed warrant was provided to agents of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. I authored a vehicle search warrant for Jennifer's vehicle to search the International Mobile Subscriber Identity number, mobile identification number, and an instrument bearing the same electronic serial number. Blah, blah, blah. The purpose of the search was to locate one of the identifiers to write another search warrant to recover any historical geolocation data. So they're looking through her computer systems pretty much in her car to kind of see that, where it was going, etc. The search warrant was submitted via a secure electronic filing system on February 29th at approximately 8:20 hours. The search warrant was signed by the Honorable Reginald K. Whitehead. The search warrant was provided to agents of the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. They later executed the search warrant, which yielded negative results. It was discovered the vehicle had access to Sirius XM and with a unique radio identification. As such, I authored an investigative subpoena for Sirius XM. At the time this report was authored, the subpoena is still waiting to be signed and served. This concludes my involvement in the investigation. So they're digging through any type of digital forensics on Jen's car too. So let me just check with you guys in chat real quick. I don't know what's going on, Seth, with Jennifer. Everyone's kind of wondering. I don't know if they need more. I don't know if they're going to use her as a witness. I don't know if it comes out that she was completely oblivious to things. Like, we just don't know. But you're not the only one who's like wondering what the heck's going on. Because people are just disgusted by her. Oh, thank you, Derek. Hey, now, thanks, Amber. No problem. And you just reminded me, I know Cold Truth gave me a super thanks, which is a super chat that you can do in the comments section after the live is over. And she asked when part 4 was coming out. I told her tonight or Monday. So I just wanted to thank her for leaving that super thanks. Yeah, the Miller case is also crazy. We looked into that. I'm waiting to hear back from the investigation by FBI that they're doing on the church or on her ex-husband. I'm just waiting for updates for that. Oh, no problem, unknown. Thank you for keeping Maddie's name out and about. Jennifer Soto pimped poor Madeline. Can't imagine her 12 years of life with such an awful mother. Yeah, I know. It's terrible. And what really happened to her? Yeah, do they really need her as a witness? Because it seems like they have a lot. They have a lot on Stephan. So I don't know. There a lot of people are arguing, saying like they don't even need that or her, statement against him. So we'll see. All right, let me get back to blah blah blah. So we also read in other parts that they've looked through her Jen Soto's phone as well. So they've definitely done deep dives into Jen. For sure. All right, what is this? Another incident report, narrative, supplemental report, background. All right, what's this about? On February 26, 2024. If I don't respond to chat, I'm obviously reading, so just give me a minute and then I'll check back. And thank you all for being here. On February 26, 2024, sector, I can't read Roman numerals, just like I can't do military time. Sorry, guys. But you can see it right here on the screen. Deputies responded to in a redacted address in reference to a missing juvenile later identified as madelinesoto. Madeline was last seen February 26 between 8:25 to 8:40 hours when she was dropped off near, and then that's also redacted by stephansterns. And we know all this background information is actually not even true. Madeline was then reported missing by her mother, Jennifer, after discovering Madeline did not attend school that day. On February 27th, Detective Brittany Bradshaw responded to, and then it's all redacted, in reference to follow-up interviews. Interview with, and that's redacted, February 27th at 13:05 hours. Okay, this is redacted. Is the best friend of Madeline also known as Maddie, maybe? I'm just guessing because all that's redacted. They have known each other ever since they were in 4th grade. She is also close with Madeline's mother, Jennifer Soto. Madeline has never told her anything about running away, other than if she did, she would run away to the woods and find a place to stay. Madeline told her she didn't get along with her mom. Madeline had heard from another friend. Okay, so this might not be Madeline. This is probably the redacted girl's name. Redacted had heard from another friend that Madeline's mom told her she was going to kick her out of the house and disown her when she turned 18 or 19. You guys see that? So-and-so had heard from another friend that Maddie's mom told her she was going to kick her out of the house and disown her when she turned 18 or 19. I'm telling you, Jen resented that kid, Madeline, her own child. She talked to Blank every day on the phone, and Blank would also text her every morning when she woke up. So I'm assuming she talked to Madeline every day. Blank thought it was odd that she did not receive a text from Madeline on Monday. Oh. So then this whole theory that something happened in the morning hours, I mean, she didn't even get a chance to text her friend that she usually texts. So then could we surmise that it wasn't in the morning before school and it was in the middle of the night? Trying to figure out this timeline. When she called Madeline on the morning of February 26th, there was no answer. Oh. Blank further stated Madeline only mentioned her biological father briefly, but she was always on a call with her stepdad, Stephan. Stephan and Madeline were always texting each other or talking on the phone. Madeline loved him and they were really close. Stephan is Jennifer's mom's boyfriend, and he has been in her life for a long period of time. Meanwhile, he's sleeping with other women that he's working with at Disney. Anyways, Stephan recently moved out of the home, but he still visits often. Stephan and Madeline's mom were also very close. Madeline talks to Stephan at least 2 to 3 times a week on the phone, but also texts him. She usually talks to him on the phone in the afternoon and night. Blank describes Stephan as very interested in Madeline, and Blank would tell him about things going on at school. So Madeline would tell him things about school. Madeline never disclosed to her anything inappropriate that Stephan said or did, as she was never witness to anything inappropriate between Madeline and Stephan. Normally, Madeline's mom or grandparents bring her to school. She does not recall a time when Stephan has ever brought Madeline to school. So this friend is saying Stephan, never would bring her to school. And it also reminds me of the neighbors who knew them, who saw usually only Jen walk the dog. And yet that morning, Stephan decides he's looking for a leash and needs to walk the dog. Blank stated there are roommates that live there in the home with Madeline and her mother. She believes it is people who are close to their family but don't have enough money to live on their own. Last time she talked to Madeline was on Sunday, February 25th, at Madeline's birthday party. The party took place at Madeline's grandparents' home. Neither Madeline's mom nor her mom's boyfriend were in attendance at the birthday party. It was also common for Madeline to talk about getting money for her birthday. Madeline got mad at Blank for not giving her any money for her birthday and complained because she didn't get enough money for her birthday. Oh. So could there have been an argument that took place that night about all this? Blank left the party at approximately 1900 hours and did not verbally speak with Madeline again. Blank stated Blank does not miss school often, but is sick a lot. Once they were at Blank told her it would be cool if they ran into the woods and build a house. What the heck is going on? Blank has never told her that she truly wanted to run away, but did mention she wanted to get her own house when she is older. Oh, she wanted away from that mother and Stephan. Blank has never tried or threatened to harm herself, Madeline, nor does she ever talk about anyone harming themselves. Blank stated Blank allegedly told their mutual friend Blank that when she turns 13, she was going to leave the house and never come back. Blank also communicates with her sister and father who live in Washington, D.C. Blank believes Blank is close with her sister. Blank also talks to different random people through Roblox. She is unaware if Blank has ever met up with any of the strangers she speaks with. She is also unaware if Madeline has ever engaged in any inappropriate conversations with older men or older women. Blank has never disclosed anything about sending or receiving inappropriate photos. Her Roblox username is redacted, and she has an Instagram, but she does not know if the username. Blank also has a YouTube Shorts account under the username, and that's redacted. On her YouTube account, Blank will post videos of her dancing with her face covered. Blank had planned on showing her face on the YouTube account once she reached 200 subscribers. Blank stated when they would text each other, it was through the normal text messages on their iPhones. She is unaware if Blank had any texting applications on her phone. Blank did not have a boyfriend, but a crush named, and his name's redacted, that goes to school with them. She claims that he does not like Madeline, and she claims he does not like Blank and ignores her text messages. Aw, I think that's Madeline. He doesn't like her and he ignores her messages. They also do not hang out with each other. Blank did not disclose that she wanted to skip school on the February 26th and has not asked Blank to skip with her. She only knows that Blank takes medication for ADHD and possibly bipolar disorder. She described Blank as impulsive, having mood swings and symptoms of bipolar disorder. Blank last, and remember when they're asked about medications and stuff like that, Stephan and the mother just talk about how she was labeled on the spectrum of autism and then taken off, and then she has ADHD. So I don't know where this bipolar stuff is coming from. Blank last her medication on February 14th and would tell everyone about not taking them. What? Blank told her she liked not being on medication because she has more energy when she doesn't take it. She is not aware of Blank participating in any risky or inappropriate behaviors for her age. She does not know if Blank hanging out with anyone older outside of school or running away with anyone. She only knows that Madeline is close with her stepdad and talks to him a lot. And it continues. Blank stated Madeline's mother called her during the evening on February 26 and asked if she was with Madeline because Madeline was missing. Madeline's mother also told her she saw Blank at 8:45 hours when she dropped Blank off at the church near the school. She said she dropped her off at the church because Madeline wanted to walk to school, which is unusual. Blank is typically dropped off at the car line. Blank stated her father went to the woods behind the school during the evening of February 26th in an attempt to locate Madeline, but was unsuccessful. Interview with, and this person's name is redacted, February 29th. Blank stated she is the 7th grade counselor and the school's redacted. She met Madeline at the beginning of the school year when she was being transferred over to the ESE service department. She was told she has ADHD and has a hard time focusing. She also has anxiety and panic attacks. Madeline, or this person, would conduct check-ins with Madeline at school and has met with her approximately 6 times since the beginning of the school year. Typically, Blank will come to her with feelings of panic and being overwhelmed. When she asks Blank Madeline what's going on, she will tell her it's anxiety and she's overstimulated from being at school, which we know is probably not what was really going on. Blank has also said she is dealing with things at home, including fighting with her mom. Mom would get upset because Blank is forgetful or doesn't clean up like she is expected to. She disclosed when mom yells at her, it makes her feel overstimulated, and then she can't respond the way she wants to. Blank stated they discussed strategies on how to calm herself and talk to mom when she's calm and how she's feeling. At each of their check-ins during December, January, and February, Madeline reported that things were improving at home and things were better at school. Madeline reported that her mom's boyfriend was living in the home and she didn't like him because he was weird. So she's being more truthful, it seems, with this counselor than she is with her friends. So give me a second to check with you guys in chat. I just want to get through this page. And then I'll read your guys' comments. So the friend describes Madeline's relationship with Stephan as she loved him. They would talk all the time. But here this counselor is involved and she's discussing how, Stephan was weird. When she pressed Madeline about why she felt he was weird, she claimed it was because he ate all their food, hangs out in their living room, and makes her feel uncomfortable. So, this counselor is being told that this guy is making this preteen at this point, 12-year-old, feel uncomfortable and that he's weird. Aren't they kind of obligated to, investigate further? I mean, I don't know, but you guys share your thoughts. Blank reported in December that mom's boyfriend was moving out of the home and that made her happy. Madeline never disclosed having depression or thoughts of harming herself. Blank never disclosed any relationship dynamics between her mom and her mom's boyfriend. She also never disclosed anything inappropriate happening between her and her mother's boyfriend. Okay, but she might not have disclosed the essay going on, but she told you that he was weird and that he made her feel uncomfortable. I don't know. I guess I'm just being critical of everyone around Madeline because I'm just angered by the actions that Stephan did. Madeline's mom told Blank that Blank was seeing a therapist weekly. Madeline's grades appeared to be stable and seemed to be improving since December when she started to report things were getting better at home and at school. Their last check-in was February 26th, and Blank reported that she was really happy and things were good with mom and at school. See, I'm curious too if there's like notes taken about these sessions or if this is all just memory from the counselor in this interview. Interview with Blank on February 29th. Blank stated he is blank. He stated Blank never discussed her home life or personal life with him. She has never disclosed any information about physical, SA, or mental abuse. She never expressed any thoughts of, self-harm. Madeline did not have any changes in her behavior. She appeared to be happy and would participate in class, so this must be a teacher. He described her as normal and helpful. There hasn't been any change with Blank since the beginning of the school year. Just drinking some water. So this completely redacted, so it's probably got really good information on it. I will check with you guys in chat in 1 second. Before we get to reading all this, I will talk to you guys. All right. So, hi, Roxanne. Good to see you. There are notes taken during sessions, but the notes are confidential under HIPAA. Okay. Maddie's behaviors and grades got better in December to February. When did Stephan move out? I think right at that time. I think so. Okay, Seth, have a good night. That's also been like read on, I think, in part 1 that we did. Yeah, that sounds like what she might have been going through. It was so frequent and for so many years that it felt normal to her, especially when you're young and that's how you're being conditioned. Yes, and the notes might be written down and protected under HIPAA, but those can be subpoenaed for trials. So whatever notes that counselor made can still be revealed during a trial. And hello, Holly. Good to see you. Yeah, the counselor should have definitely looked into more. I think so too. Like if a female is telling you that a male who's not her biological father even is making her feel uncomfortable and he's weird, like, I don't know. You would think that she would be able to, read between the lines a little bit or be hyper vigilant about all that or press it more. I don't know. I believe she threatened to tell if he ever touched her again, and that's why he had to kill her. Right. Definitely a possibility and a theory out there. Was this medication prescribed by doctors or was Maddie given medications by her mom and Stephan? Right. We will know in trial if Maddie went to the doctor for RX meds. Right, because when they're asked about her and medications and conditions, we have not heard at all them say like, well, she's bipolar. That's new coming from a friend. This ridiculous story about the drop-off is more suspicious than anything else. Jen adheres to this narrative, and this to me spells compliance. Yeah. She's in cahoots with Stephansterns. It seems like it. It really does. I know, Delana, it's awful. I know, I'm waiting to see when more is known about Jen and her involvement. We're all waiting. For sure. This child only disclosed she felt uncomfortable and weird around the mom's boyfriend. Those are not reported CPS concerns. No harm to the child had been alleged. Right. No, I'm not saying that they should have reported to CPS, but I mean, can't they discuss something with the mom? Can't they discuss something, check in with her more frequently or something? It was also stated she had asthma. I never heard that. Chapter 39 of Florida statutes mandates that any person who knows or has reasonable cause to suspect that a child is, neglected child to be reported immediately. She also had issues most likely from being, exactly that. Yeah, if that's what they want to claim. Yeah, she might not even have really been ADHD. Maddie was given Ativan. A doctor would never prescribe that to a 13-year-old. They were drugging her, in my opinion, which might be why some of the material that they've stated says that she was passed out in some of the videos and photos. Something's not adding up with this medication stuff. On February 29th, I was asked to respond to, and that whole address is redacted, to assist with interviewing teachers and students of Madeline. Interview with 25-year-old redacted. On February 29th at approximately 13:10 hours, I conducted a digitally sworn interview with redacted in a portable classroom at, and that's all redacted. The following is synopsis of her statement. Blank is blank second period PE teacher. Blank told me that she knew Madeline pretty well and that they had some interactions. Blank stated that Madeline hangs out with blank most in classes, but also sees blank with blank is in the class, but has another assigned PE teacher. Blank told me that she has never had any issues with blank. Blank told me that blank always seemed very anxious, and anytime she needed to ask or wanted something, she brought a buddy with her. Aw, so she sort of has, she's not secure. You grow into that, but it's noteworthy that this teacher is stating that like she always needed a buddy with her, because obviously this teacher sees other students approach or ask things that they don't require having a buddy, and they're, secure with themselves to just go alone. Blank recalled how Blank was shy and around authority figures, but not everybody. Blank told me that Blank got Student of the Week February 16th and was nominated by Blank for doing something excellent, but not sure exactly what she did. Blank recalled during a fitness testing at the beginning of the year, Blank struggled with her asthma. Oh, yeah, that is okay. Here we go with the asthma talk. She walked with Blank to her locker so she could get her an inhaler and told her that she was able to sit out if she needed to. Blank recalled how occasionally her friends would tell her that Blank needed to go to the counselor and she would go with her friends. Blank did not know why Blank needed to go to the counselor. Blank had not seen any recent changes in behavior. She heard the description of Blank's clothing and recognized it as something she always wears. Blank did not see any signs of depression or S inclinations, so harming herself. Blank does not dress out in the class, but she is not sure why. Blank told me that many kids do not change out because they feel uncomfortable, but they still participate. Blank told me that Blank had a locker previously and that SRO Blank asked her to check it out and she did not find a lock on it or any items in it. Blank told me that children will get pulled from their class for various other things like tutoring, and she believed that blank was pulled for MTSS intervention with blank earlier that year. Blank stressed that blank always seemed anxious, and she did not think it was normal for blank to want to go away on her own since she always needed someone with her. So she's basically saying that she doesn't think Madeline would have ran away by herself because she's always with somebody. Blank told me that she met Madeline's mother once earlier in the year when she was a substitute for another PE teacher. A copy of this interview with 33-year-old blank on February 29th. I conducted a digitally sworn interview with blank in a portable classroom at blank. The following is a synopsis of her statement. Blank told me that Madeline is in her first period intensive reading class. Blank thought she knew Madeline pretty well since she had been in her class since fall 2023. Blank told me that blank was on her door decorating team, which she nominated blank for Student of the Week for. Blank told me she was spreading kindness and love. Blank did not have any individual conversations with blank and said that blank's involvement in the door decorating was the closest they were. Blank believes that blank is also friends with somebody Garcia, not just blank. Sarah Diedrich is in 8th grade, student helper in the same period, and she's not sure if Sarah is close with Madeline. Blank told me that she is aware of what happened from an OCSO media release. Blank recalled how blank was reading a graphic novel. So this person is telling them that Madeline was reading a graphic novel. And blank was alarmed that kissing was in the meaning. Oh, kissing was in the book, sorry. Additionally, she told me she heard blank and her friends talking about Lady Gaga lyric that they were alarmed about its sexual meaning. Blank said that blank did not make any disclosures regarding any kind of abuse. Blank did not believe that blank's mother came to open house. So Jen doesn't even go to her own child. She only has one child, nor had they ever met. Blank had not seen any signs of depression. Blank told me that she was shocked to hear about Madeline's conversation regarding living in the woods. Blank stated that blank's grades was low in her class and said that she has had a D in every quarter. She stated that blank would work in class, but she was not able to follow things through to completion. Blank had not seen any shifts in blank's behavior, but believed that blank's behavior had improved since the door decorating competition. Oh, so she got a little bit of confidence and all that from getting recognized for all that. A copy of this interview and picture of blank with the door was placed into evidence. On February 29th, I conducted a digitally sworn interview with blank in a mobile classroom at blank. Blank told me that Madeline is in 7th grade, 7th period English class, and has been in there since fall 2023. Blank told me that he has had a great relationship with Madeline and he thinks she likes him. Blank described blank as Madeline as quieter, who sometimes does her work. Blank has sleepy days where she comes in and puts her head down and does nothing, which he said not a lot of kids do. Oh. Blank told me that he only keeps academic tabs on blank and said that they had a conversation about her grades. Blank said that they had never had any conversations about Madeline's home life, and he did not meet her parents, even though Madeline's mother was a substitute for him in October of 2023. Blank had not seen any recent changes in Madeline's behavior. Blank noted that Madeline seemed to not have had as many sleepy days as in the beginning of the school year. Blank told me that he saw Madeline fatigued, which he believed may have been a sign of depression. But he did not see anything more overt, nor did he see any signs of S inclinations from Madeline. Blank told me that Madeline's grades were rough, but then she brought them up. He said that she will go through phases where she will not turn anything in. Blank had not noted any shifts in behavior and recalled how he bid that class farewell on February 23rd. She said that she would see him on Monday. Aww. Blank stated that a student came up to him and told him she wanted to live in the woods when she was 13. Blank told me that Blank seemed normal but quiet and tired. A copy of this interview was placed into evidence. Another interview with a 13-year-old. So there's going to be a lot of redactions here because it's a minor's name. Poor girl was failed by everyone around her. I know. Hey, Bee and Bio Girl, good to see you. I hope you're leaving the hospital soon. Yeah, Jen shouldn't get the privilege of being called a mother. A mother wouldn't let anything like this happen to Madeline happen, in my opinion. Jen was jealous of her, but that was how she kept Stephan around, was by using her daughter. It seems more and more that that's what it is, in my opinion. It's possible for Jen not to know what men do with when they're sharing a bed with a female. It is? How is that possible? I mean, anything's possible, so I don't want to say your theory's wrong, but I'm just like, Jen knows. Hey, Legendary, good to see you. I work for the schools. You can be held accountable. Oof. As a school employee, she is a mandated reporter, so why did she sit on this so long? Stephan could have gotten locked up long ago. Okay, guys, let me read out this. This is another interview. Oh gosh, I read it wrong. So sorry. Yeah, that sounds more like it. It's impossible that she didn't know what happens with men. Oh my gosh, yes, it's impossible for Jen. Sorry, doing too much reading tonight. My bad. But yes, I totally agree with you, Natasha. Okay, sounds good. And thank you, chat. I know. Okay, this is the interview with the 13-year-old, and then we'll finish this page. Let me see how long this interview is. Okay, yes. So it'll be this page, and then we'll switch the screen up and go to the segment from Court TV with Vinnie Politan and some experts on there and chiming in about this case. So thank you guys for being here and listening to all this. All right, where are we at? Okay, all the way up here. On February 29th, 15:11 hours, I conducted a digitally recorded sworn interview with blank in a conference room at blank. Before speaking on the incident, I qualified that blank understood the difference between telling the truth and lying, which she did. The following is a synopsis of her statement. And all this stuff is obviously recorded, so when everything takes place at trial, like some of them are minors, so I don't know if we'll hear everything, but we'll get more than just these synopsises. Before speaking on it, okay, blank told me that she met blank last year when they were in 6th grade and they shared one class together. Blank stated that she and blank have 3 classes together currently, and they have become better friends. She told me that blank and blank would know blank the best, and as they were her best friends. Blank recalled how blank would come to school crying and complaining about her mother. Other times, blank would cry, and she would say, that she just wanted to cry. Blank did not know any changes in Blank's behavior, and Blank did not talk about ever, her depression or S. And S obviously stands for this word. Blank stated that Blank would occasionally be mean to her, and when Blank asked why, she said that it was because that is how she shows affection. Blank stated that Blank's mother threatened to kick her out. Additionally, Blank did not like her father. Blank stated that she did not hear Blank speak about her mother's boyfriend. Blank continued to say that Blank and her did not ever talk about sex, but they talked about crushes, including Blank, Madeline's current interest, and his name's redacted. Blank was upset during this interview and was crying because she kind of misses her. Copy of this interview was placed into evidence, and here's another one with a 12-year-old on February 29th, same day, in a conference room at the same place, assuming the school. Before speaking on the incident, I qualified that Blank understood the difference between the truth and lying, which she did. The following is a synopsis of her statement. Blank told me that she had recently become close friends with Madeline and that they share 2 classes in common. She stated that Blank and Blank would know Blank best, and they both told her things about Blank, including her mention of wanting to run away when she was 13 years old to build a house in the woods. Blank recalled how Blank would seem pretty sad sometimes, though she noted that other times she seemed happy, particularly at school. Blank did not know any behavioral changes, nor did she discuss depression or S with her. Copy of this interview was placed into evidence. Interview with the 13-year-old. So this is going to start off the same way, that they checked to make sure that they knew the statements between lying and telling the truth, and that they did. It was conducted in the redacted address, just like the other ones. Here's a synopsis. Blank stated that she has known Blank, who calls Blank, since 4th grade. She described Blank as her best friend and said that they share everything together. Blank told me that Blank and her mother would frequently fight. So every single person who we've talked about tonight has stated that Madeline had a very poor relationship with Jen. She described Madeline's mother as bipolar. Additionally, she described Blank as bipolar in her behavior, that she was taking unknown medication for ADHD. Blank told me that Blank stopped taking her medication on Valentine's Day, but an unknown reason. Blank described Blank as nice, funny, and caring on her medication, but snappy when she was off her medication. Blank told me that she did not notice Blank going through a depressive phase, but that Blank said that she was going through one earlier in the year. Additionally, Blank did not show any interest in wanting to harm herself or anyone else. Blank stated that Blank was upset at her birthday party because she advised it well. She advertised it well, but not many people showed up, nor did many bring presents. Oh, this makes me so sad. Blank recalled how Blank had a crush on Blank in school and that she asked him for his phone number. Blank told me that Blank would try and talk to him more over the phone, but he did not respond. Oh. Blank told me that Blank had 2 previous boyfriends, Blank who was expelled for breaking another child's elbow, and Blank, another kid's name. She described both relationships as over distance and a lot of texting. Blank told me that she was not allowed to have social media, but that Blank's YouTube channel was Blank, which she showed me. Additionally, Blank showed me Blank's Discord. Blank emphasized that Blank's mention of living in the woods was only if World War III were to happen. She stated that she did not ever notice any bruising on Madeline, but noted how she occasionally came to school with red makeup on, which made it look like she was crying. She told me that she told me that she would, even though, well, I don't know, this is like misspelled. Blank told me that she would get to blank every weekend, maybe go to, but she did not ever stay the night because of her parents' own rules. Blank told me that she met Stephan on one occasion, even though he and Blank's mother had been together her entire life. Blank stated that he recently moved out of the residence for an unknown reason, and when she asked Blank why he did, she ignored the question. Wow. So that's noteworthy. So this friend is being told that Stephan's leaving the house, and she kind of pushed Madeline, wanted to know why, but Madeline ignored it. Blank told me that Blank and Stephan were very close and that they would communicate frequently. When she asked Blank about it, she said they just had a close relationship. Blank told me that she received 2 pictures of Stephan that Blank had sent her. She described them as screenshots that Blank appeared to have taken during a time when they were FaceTiming. However, Blank was not able to locate the photos. Blank told me that Blank typically got her menstrual cycle 2 days before she did, except for the last month when Blank got hers week or 2 after Blank got hers. Blank told me that they did not have a conversation as to why her menstrual cycle was late. Blank believed Blank was a virgin, and she did not ever see or hear anything of the contrary. Blank stated that Blank's mother was never freaking out, and she thought it was weird that she said that she dropped Blank Madeline off at school when initially Stephan said he did. Okay, hold on. So Blank stated that Madeline's mother was never freaking out. So I think that they're asking this girl about when Madeline's mother called her about Madeline being missing, and she's saying that she was never freaking out. And she thought it was weird that she said that she dropped Madeline off at school when initially Stephan said he did. So it sounds like Jen has stated to this friend, if I'm understanding this, and you guys let me know, that she was the one that dropped Madeline off that day. So this friend is kind of saying, like, wait a minute, like, Jen told me that she dropped her off, but then we're hearing that Stephan said he did. She thought it was weird that she said she dropped Madeline off at school when initially Stephan said he did. Blank was shocked when she saw the news about Stephan's arrest, though. She said that the thought crossed her mind once Blank had gone missing. Blank noted how she would always receive messages in the morning from Madeline, but she did not on Monday, which alarmed her. She said that even when Blank would oversleep, she would still receive messages. Thought something had happened when she did not receive anything from Madeline. A copy of this interview was placed in evidence. So are you guys kind of reading that the same way as me? Well, that's shady. Right. The mom is so in on it. Seems more and more like, why would Jen have stated to this friend that she dropped her off that day and hasn't heard from her? And then this friend kind of hears, through the grapevine that, like, no, Stephan's the one saying that he dropped her off. So this friend, is like, weirded out by it. I believe Jen was jealous. Me too. Our whip, I do. All right, guys. I think that's enough reading. I like to go an hour and a half, especially for replay viewers, and we still haven't shared what I wanted to share. So we kind of started this on the last one. That's why we're kind of doing it in pieces. So let me just play this. We'll watch this for a little bit and then close out for part 4.
Are you doing? So she has a phone number or phone?
She does, but she left it at home today. I have it.
You have it.
And I'm already up her messages.
Okay. How about, does she have like Apple Watch?
She's got a device. The only device she's got on her right now is her school address.
A school laptop? Is that trackable? I don't think so.
She got dropped off. She was like, so she can barely explain his car. So she didn't want to be dropped off at school. She wanted to be dropped off like half a block away so she can walk.
It's an interesting, she's in phase.
But he dropped her off half a block away and drove away.
Did she ever go to school though?
No, we called
She
school.
was walking in that direction, she was rifling through her backpack, just looking for something. I thought maybe she was just looking for headphones before she got to walking on.
Yeah.
But she was just coming, shambling over in that direction. It looked the same as any other morning.
Okay.
What was the last thing you asked?
If she ever went to school,
And now that we hear from, I'm just thinking, now that we hear from that friend that said that Jen told her that she dropped her off, now it's kind of like, is that why Jen and Stephan would say, we dropped her off, we this and that? I don't know. And also Stephan here, we know is a complete liar, which we already knew that anyways, but he said, she walked towards the school like she did any other day. And yet everyone else that we've read through in their witness statements have stated that no, she would get dropped off in the car line like every other kid. Okay, Dustin, I think I'm looking through chat. It says that you're leaving for the night. Have a good night. Good night, Dustin.
So I got confirmation from the school that she never made it. They sent me an email saying she didn't make it. But I also spoke to her or emailed one of her teachers directly. And he looked at all her attendance, all her periods, and told me she'd make it at all today.
Say it again? No, she was supposed to have a book bag. She was supposed to go to school, but didn't go to school today. He had said negative on that hit at the park.
Waiting
So,
for reference day 21 to a vehicle. Doing local reference day 21 to a vehicle. I think black shorts. Unknown male, gray hoodie, black pants, black T-mat, black gloves. No further information. 1064, 1946.
and when was the last time you seen her? Do you know around what time?
Around 8:30, 8:40 when we dropped her off.
How tall is she?
5'1".
Weight?
110 pounds.
110, 112.
Hair color?
Blonde, like that. 30 blonde.
Like a dirty blonde? Okay. Eye color?
Blue.
Does she have any markings on her, like any scars or anything like
There's
that?
a distinctive beauty mark on her face
On
here.
her face?
On the face, like below the nose, or near the nose?
Yeah, like right in that area there. It's very distinctive. You know it if you saw it. Big.
Any other scars or anything like that? No.
Tattoo.
Tattoo.
Paperwork.
Back-to-back episode thon starting Wednesday. If a child has been missing for
Sorry, we've seen that body camera footage. We've gone through it in another episode. So if you guys have missed it, you can just reference back. Just want to get to the commentary.
12 hours without a phone, you would expect some desperation and extreme anxiousness from their loved ones. But in the case of Madelinesoto, that wasn't the case. Here's more of our investigation.
And it wasn't the case that we can see on the body camera footage. Like we were all like, why is she not like more distraught? And then I just go back to that statement that we read from Madeline's friend who said Jen Soto was never freaking out. And that was quoted.
Does she have any markings on her, like any scars or anything like
There's
that?
a distinctive beauty mark on her face
On her
here.
face?
On the face, like below the nose, or near the nose?
Yeah, like right in that area there. It's very distinctive. You know it if you saw it.
Any other scars or anything like that?
Scars.
No.
Tattoo.
Tattoo.
You'd be surprised.
Still with us, WFTV investigative reporter Shannon Butler and retired police commander Mike King. Mike, the laughter, can we chalk? Is it nervous laughter, or is this like did it make you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, it made me feel uncomfortable, Vinny, but you're absolutely right. We have to be able to understand what's normal for them. But I'll tell you something that really stood out to me that hasn't jumped out before, but it really bugs me, Vinny, and that is that as soon as she picks up that phone and says, yes, principal, he doesn't turn to look and say, has somebody found her? I mean, he's got this resolute look on his face, and it's like whatever's going on isn't going to change a thing.
Shannon, I know you've also taken a look at a new discovery list, some new documents. What can you tell us about that?
Well, the discovery list is basically a list of things that we know now what investigators used in their investigation or anything that they found. And there is dozens and dozens of items. But one of the things that we thought was interesting when we went through some of this over the last couple of days is that those Orange County detectives did use trackers on the vehicles of Jen Soto and Stephan Sterns in those days while they were still looking for madelinesoto. We did know that there was some video had picked up along that route between their home and where Madeline's body was found. We now know there were, the 7-Eleven, we knew that they had video there. And then I think I've told you guys before, there was video at kind of an industrial type park on the way. Our understanding is that's video where they see him move one location to another from the front seat into the trunk. So we know that in this case, they do have more video. That video evidence that we saw from the apartment complex with the backpack and things like that. It does appear that investigators had quite a bit of evidence very early on in this investigation. It was, of course, that tip from that passerby that helped them locate Madeline's body, but they were pretty well ahead of the game very early on in this investigation.
And Mike King, something else we're looking at, if you look at Stephan Sterns right here on his arm, he's got a Fitbit. That could be a source of information as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Vinny. And the fact that they really have a pretty good cellular system set up through that part of Florida. They're not only are pretty good cell towers and they're in good proximity with a pretty good direction, but they've got microwave and they've got small cell installations. So I think when they're starting to look at the forensics in this particular case, including the bird dog information that they put on the vehicles to track him, I think they're going to really put together a nice breadcrumb trail.
Shannon, what do you think of the dynamic? I know you guys interviewed them together and everyone looked at that and was, quite striking. How about in this video? Do you see any sort of different dynamic between the two, or is it consistent with when WFTV, you guys did the interview with madelinesoto and Stephan Sterns?
Yeah, it appears to be pretty... it looks the same. It's easy for me to say that now because of how much we know about that couple now. But he was very stoic, kind of like he is here. And I don't know, he almost seems kind of put out by what's going on here. Even in that investigation or that interview that we did with him, he was just so matter of fact, like I dropped her off, she was rifling through her backpack, things like that, which we know not to be true because the backpack was found in the dumpster. But her behavior also the same. She's, kind of quiet and reserved, even in our interview and even here. But it felt to me then, and it feels to me now, that I'm not sure she's sure about the story of which she gave. For whatever reason that may be, she doesn't seem as solid in that information. I mean, she doesn't even know what color shorts madelinesoto is wearing. They were blue, not black. So that's pretty consistent with what we saw when we talked to them. His behavior, his arms crossed and things like that was just how he was when we saw him.
Mike King, understanding the dynamic of the relationship, I think is going to be crucial for the trial or trials of Stephan Sterns. What role does Jen Soto play? Cooperating witness? Is she a potential co-conspirator? Does she face any charges for any of her conduct before, during, or after the fact? To me, that is still the big unknown question in all of this.
Yeah, I agree, Vinny. And I think that their law enforcement's in a perfect position to work with her. And it doesn't seem like she's lawyered up or been resistant to that. And with him now sitting in jail, she's not facing any of that pressure that she might if they were still in the same house together. So I think that's it's really incumbent on law enforcement as they continue to massage this thing and try to get more information to really see if they can separate. There may be immunity that's offered. Who knows? There may be a little bit of pressure put on her for some things like just the responsibility to protect that child, and having her sleep with this guy that she's living with isn't protecting that child. And then I guess the final thing that I would say is it's too bad in hindsight that law enforcement didn't split them up right then, because those two were just kind of acting hinky. But I love the fact that we have an expert who has dealt with them and interviewed them for the media that can say, well, the behavior's kind of consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. Still to come.
So what he's saying is that every other time she stumbles through her.
Let's do this. I'm going to put on a clip and let's watch it together. Then afterwards, you tell me what you're picking up from Stephan Sterns and Jen Soto. Let's take a look at the first one where they give some basic info.
What's her name?
Madeline. Madeline.
Madeline. Any last name?
Soto, S-O-T-O.
S-O-T-O?
Yeah.
Date of birth?
February 22nd, 2011.
February 27, 2000?
22nd.
Oh, sorry, 22nd,
2011.
2011.
Just her 13th birthday.
What was she last seen wearing?
Green hoodie,
Green hoodie,
white Crocs.
white Crocs.
Blue or black pants.
I think black shorts.
So he says Crocs, which we know one of them's at the house at this time, in the downstairs bedroom after we read it through the documents tonight, near the window, next to Jennifer's Crocs. And she was found in blue pants. So when he says black or blue pants and she says black shorts, we also read, I think in part 3 or 2, that they found black shorts and pink undergarments in Stephan's car.
Black shorts.
All right, Bruce, what are you picking up here? So just giving some of the basic information.
Yeah. So let's go back to when they first came in, the officer first came in. What's the first thing that Stephan did? He takes a big swig of water. Okay, that's a limbic brain response. Most of the ancient lie detector tests are based on your saliva, your dry mouth. So then he reaches back and he puts the water bottle behind him, and he comes up and he starts to put his hands in his pockets. But then he changes his mind and he crosses his arms. We call that dorsal blocking. Okay, so when people are feeling threatened, they'll dorsal block. Your limbic brain, which is your fight, flight, or freeze brain, has a vested interest in protecting these organs. So as soon as he does that, now it doesn't always mean it's a closed stance. It depends on the circumstances and the context of when it's happening. But then he uncrosses his hand and he touches his forehead. Again, it's a limbic brain response. It's a pacifier. So he wants to run or fight, but he can't. So he's got to calm himself down. So then mom answers the phone and hands it to him. So he takes his hand and he takes his thumb and puts his thumb in his pocket. So most people, when they put their hands in their pocket, they either put the whole hand in, right, or they'll leave the thumb out. So hiding your thumbs is a great sign of lack of confidence. So he talks on the phone a little bit, hands the phone back to her, and he immediately goes back into the closed stance and again touches his head, touches his forehead. So these are limbic brain responses, that it's a fight, flight, or freeze response. So those are great clues. I have to agree with the other people in the beginning that there's almost an eerie calm here. So I look at mom's bobbing back and forth. She's got the exaggerated sway back and forth, but she's pretty much repeating what she's been told. So I didn't see too much on her. There was some emotion on her face. She had some forehead, some tension in the forehead as she was talking also.
Okay, I've got a second clip. In this one, they get into more of the details of the actual story. Let's watch that one.
She got dropped off. She was like, so she's in Beverly Hills car. So she didn't want to be dropped off at school. She wanted to be dropped off like half a block away so she can walk.
It's in this thing. She's in the face.
But he dropped her off half a block away and drove away.
Did she ever go to school?
No, we called
She
school.
was walking in that direction. She was rifling through her backpack, just looking for something. I thought maybe she was just looking for headphones before she got the walking on.
Yeah.
But she was just kind of, shambling over in that direction. It looked the same as any other morning.
Bruce, are you picking up anything in just the dynamic between the two?
Yeah, so she's explaining to the officer what's going on, and he steps over her from behind. Now, he doesn't have his hands crossed here because she's in front of him. It's like standing in front of a podium, right? She's blocking for him. So he adds that in there, like she's going through a phase. So he's kind of minimizing it. He doesn't use the word just to minimize it, but he goes, she's going through a phase. And he talks about dropping her off about a half a mile away. Well, that's a long ways, but okay, maybe he did. Obviously he didn't know. So he says, and then he starts talking about what happened. And one time he says, he's talking about how she was rifling through her backpack and then she stammers away. I think that's the word he used. And then he goes, so he uses the word or the phrase for the very first time in all the body cam clips. So has two meanings, unless it's his baseline, has two meanings. One of them is he's trying to monopolize the conversation. And the other one, he doesn't know a whole lot about it. So he's trying to convince us, that she was stumbling through her backpack. And then he adds something at the end, it's unnecessary language. It looked the same as any other time. So what he's saying is that every other time she stumbles through her backpack and he kind of acts like she was walking, like that imitates her. So I found that very odd, that he was trying to convince us because he uses the phrase, and he says, just like every other time. So every other time she is going through her backpack looking for her headphones. Yeah. Lots of deception there.
Final one. And this time they talk about the last time they saw her, but there's also a moment where I think people laugh a little bit. Let's take a look at that.
When was the last time you seen her? Do you know around what time?
Around 8:30, 8:40 when we dropped her off.
How old is she?
5'1".
Weight?
110 pounds.
110, 100.
Hair color?
Blonde.
Blonde, like that. Dirty blonde.
Like a dirty blonde? Okay. Eye color?
Blue.
Does she have any markings on her, like any scars
She
or anything
has
like that?
a distinctive beauty mark on her face
On
here.
her face.
On the face, like below the nose, or near the nose?
Yeah, like right in that area there. It's very distinctive. You know it if you saw it. It's big.
Any other scars or anything like that? Which you know?
Scars?
No.
Tattoo?
Tattoos?
No.
Okay, let's begin with the laughter in this moment. Was it nervous laughter? What are you getting from that?
So I thought that was very odd. I wouldn't be laughing if my daughter was missing. One of the things that one of the clues of communication, channels of communication, is the voice. So it's the pitch, the tone, the volume, the inflection, and the flow. And sometimes his volume goes way down. So when he's describing certain things about her, his volume comes up to his level. But then when he's talking about, especially when he says dirty blonde, his mouth opens up. It's the only time it happened in the whole body cam. He goes dirty blonde and his mouth opens up. I don't know why that happened, but we look for consistencies and inconsistencies. So then about the tattoos, yeah, everybody started laughing. I thought that was very odd. I do agree that when the principal called, there was no response to him.
Sometimes a story just doesn't add up.
All right. So again, when we saw that body cam footage, we were all like, this is weird. She doesn't seem upset, et cetera, et cetera. Now, that's why I like to play those commentary segments from experts, because they're saying the same things we pretty much are as well. Yeah, like I would be bawling if my child was missing. And I go back to that interview that we read tonight with Madeline's friend, and she said something along the lines that Jen was not freaking out and that she thought it was weird that Jen said she dropped her off at school, because then she had heard that Stephan was the one that dropped her off. So some difference in statements, possibly. Again, this is a witness testimony. They're giving their sworn statement to the best of their ability and memory. Did Jen really say that she dropped her off, or is this witness remembering wrong? You know, I mean, I think that the witness is probably being truthful and remembering correctly, but you always have to leave that out there. Like, well, what if somebody's memory was off? I don't know. It just seems weird. It's adding to the theory that Jen knew more. And that's where I'm at, is I really think that Jen had more involvement somehow, some way, some shape or form. Also alarming that we just heard over and over tonight in those documents we read that Jen and Madeline had a rough relationship, and that Jen had threatened to throw Madeline out and disown her. So that was also alarming that we read tonight too. Delana says, in my opinion, she knew exactly what was going on. And in my opinion, she knew exactly what happened. Being Bio Girl said, I think Jen knew very well what was going on right in front of her. I'd be telling police to get out and go look for my child. Right. Yeah, it's just something doesn't look right, right? Okay, so that was part 4. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to take a break over the weekend, decompress from everything we just read today. Come back Monday. Maybe we'll do part 5 Monday. Maybe we'll cover another case and then get back to this. We'll see as it goes. But yes, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. And join me next week, and we will do more deep dives into this case and in other cases. And again, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight, and I hope to talk to you guys all on Monday. Yeah, I think so too, Tony. She was jealous of Maddie. And thank you to the moderators, people who donated super chats, people who donated memberships. Thank you guys so much, and we'll talk again on Monday. So guys, have a good weekend.